So, well, I just wanted to say that, well, this morning we saw the evolution of the Commission programs, the transformation of the European Europe for Citizens program into something much wider, which is the SURF program. Of course, that means like packaging together many topics, all of them very relevant to society, but also to some people, maybe the risk of seeing that dilute the remembrance aspect diluted in a wider framework. I think we were all reassured that that will not be the case, that the European Commission is very vigilant about this, and they also assure that attention will continue to be paid to those issues. Then to connect with the second panel, which was devoted to commemorations, I can say that some of us, and certainly this event of taking stock of European memory policies, we took inspiration or encouragement from the priorities of the European Commission themselves in introducing a few years ago commemorations as part of their priorities. I think this is a good example of how this like steering role of the European Commission also works in stakeholders and partners and organizations, because when there's an open invitation to go in one direction, well, people normally follow. So in our case, we took that encouragement to strengthen ties with the Spinelli Institute, of course with Rome, but that was already the case, and to try to streamline, if I can say, that the commemorations or the commemorations that we have been discussing, the Schuman Declaration a year ago, but this year also the Ventotene Manifesto, the Treaty of Paris, and next year again the setting in motion of the first European Community in September of 1952. So modestly from our end, we continue to try to streamline those commemorations that normally maybe would be outside this, or a few years ago, until a few years ago, would have been outside the scope of memory initiatives. And we do our part of the work in establishing connections with the memory and the trauma of war, of course, but also of the solidarity bonds that resulted from that experience of war, and that were put to good use to overcome this situation and make sure that this situation was not repeated in the future. With regards to Marcus' presentation, and also the observatory presentation, and again, like bringing in some of the reflections that we discussed in Strasbourg in the conference, or Aurora mentioned the first conference a week ago on the observatory. There is also the issue of the connection between those reports that Aurora mentioned, and that analysis, and decision makers. I think that was one of the key questions that Aurora also underlined at the end of our discussions in Strasbourg, and I think it is still very relevant today. That's why maybe I would like to just at the same time answer to them and end my, let's say, like conclusions, invitation to keep talking with two very specific announcements or proposals, or again, invitations. I use the word invitation a lot, I realize right now, but that's for a reason. One is with the Istituto di Studi Federalisti Altiero Spinelli, and with Rome, we have the idea of at the first occasion to make this series of events evolve into something a little bit different, and to bring in students, and to expand, let's say, the annual rendezvous appointment with maybe throughout a week or half a week, so that this can become really a forum for discussion with students, the university level researchers, etc. So we would like to again, do something in favor of this connection between analysts, decision makers, responsible of institutional programs. And then even more specifically, and that is completely out of the blue, but I hope Aurora will forgive me for that, would like to extend an invitation to the observatory, why not, if that can be convenient, to have a previous, once you organize your next conference, the next year, a year from now, would like you to consider the Jean Monnet House also as a place to gather the members of your governing bodies or experts, etc., ahead of the meeting. So I think it might work actually quite nicely. We're not that far apart, 2 hours apart, so that before the big conference, the bodies of your observatory can also use the Jean Monnet House and the new facilities for a previous meeting, surrounded by nature in good spirit, etc. And of course, I am also opening that possibility to all of you, dear colleagues and friends, following this conference online. So please, as I said at the beginning, just let us know how we can support. And now I'm talking about the Jean Monnet House, but of course, I think it is already the case with Oron, that they are present in 53 different countries, so they do that work already. So I think I speak on behalf of all of us just to say that we are at your disposal to accompany your own initiative and to make this network grow. So thank you very much. And again, this is more than a conclusion. Like, please, let's use the remaining 6-7 minutes to jump in and just make it particularly lively as the end of this discussion.
Thank you, Martí. Thank you for your hopes and encouragement. Of course, I am joining Martí, and maybe, yeah, of course, we have to congratulate ourselves also to have this capacity of networking, not only with partners, individuals, but also networking with networking. So, and I'm happy also to meet here this new observatory and teaching history of the Council. And but beside this annual conference that taking stock on our annual conference, each other's, this idea, of course, to set something more specific to these students or young people, like we did with our traveling seminars. But this idea is quite important around Spinelli also ideas, and this kind of we talk about summer or autumn school, something like that. So we have to work on it, and then we have this partnership also for 4 years with the European Commission and the program SERV, and with all of you and experts. So we have to work on this line, and then improve this technical and practical schedule to develop this kind of program for young students and people. So I extremely support this idea, Martí, as you may know, of course, and we open this floor to the others. And by the way, I'm saying everything, many things, of course, I provide to say, to conclude with this also to your colleagues, to the speakers, to Marcos, of course, with enlightening with these clear ideas that we are working for a long time already, with this teleology of memories that I quote so many times myself. So it's from Marcos, of course, his first text that he did. So anyway, thank you for all the rest and the team, and of course, I think that there was someone else who wanted to take the floor and to say something. It was...
Hello, yes.
Yeah, sorry.
Peter de Burggraaf, Orpha 100 director from Amsterdam. Thank you for the illuminating lectures. I've got one question. Well, has the Observatory of History Teaching got any leeway to to have players in the field participating? That's the question, actually.
I'm not sure if I understood the question. Are you asking if the observatory has some field actors also, if we are represented at different levels and not only at intergovernmental level, being based in the Council of Europe? Is it
Well,
the
thank you.
question?
Well, what I mean with players in the field, has it been established as a closed body, and will it just go on in its 12th or apparently 13th month after the foundation? Or would you really be looking for cooperative partners just to...
Yes, yes, sure. We really need that. It's not only that we want, but in order to really cover the scope of the work of the observatory, we need to have a partner at different level. And as I mentioned in the presentation, we are an intergovernmental body based in the Council of Europe, and our mandate, of course, has its limits. Only through partnerships we can be present, let's say, in the field. And I can mention a direct partnership, for instance, with Euroclio, when it comes to the outreach in terms of teaching body, professors, teachers, etc. There are other networks that are already part of our very newly established, let's say, cooperation hub. But the idea is from now on to focus on this and to see exactly to which extent each of these future partners or people that are interested in the work of the observatory can have an active role to play. Because last week in the annual conference, we tried to mention really what worries us is not to establish a network, because that's not the most difficult thing, to just meet once per year and I think you said it yourself, just to have a state of the art in this field of who is doing what in the field of history education, but to really have like a planning, a clear strategic, let's say, approach to how we work together, at which level and for which purpose. And we would like to have this, especially because in the field of history education, we have academia, we have the teachers, we have the non-formal education, and including the remembrance places or the museums or all those that bring their part of work in the picture, the students themselves, but also the networks on history didactics. So we already identify so many actors, and many of them do an amazing work already. I didn't mention Georg Eckart Institute, for instance. They work with us and they do an amazing work on the analysis of the curricula and textbooks. They are very well known for this. So the idea is really to now sit, and we started already after the annual conference, and see how this cooperation hub will work in the future, so everybody finds its own role and that it's action oriented and not only sharing of information.
Well, I think it's 1 o'clock, Jordi. Yes.
I'm sorry, but I need to
Well, it's 1 o'clock.
Your last word, Martin.
It's the ending time. So thank you very much to all, and see you next year for the same event, but hopefully even before that. And
Sure.
Thanks for participating today and for being with us and for sharing your thoughts. Thank you to all the presenters, especially also to the European Commission and to all the different partners.
Sure.
Have a nice weekend. Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Merci, Oriol. Adéu.
Bye bye. Thank you.